All right, y'all, we back with another reaction right here on ABP Reactions. And right now, a disturbing cult is still hiding in plain sight right here on YouTube today. Let's find out all about it.
Leonardo da Vinci, I see him.
I see him also.
Hi.
Oh, you're joining a cult? Well, yeah, but it's the cult I want to be part of. This cult's awesome.
I think these kinds of classes help a lot of people, and there's not usually anything wrong with them, but unfortunately this one happens to be a full-fledged cult.
The Trinfinity Academy. There's a YouTube video titled "A Cult Leader Claims He Can Change the Weather." It talks about a man named Bentinho Massaro. He was accused of turning a YouTube channel into a cult. Things became more serious when one of his followers lost their life. Police even reviewed Bentinho's spiritual teachings during their investigation. Here's how it unfolded. When Bentinho was 18, he traveled to India to study yoga and meditation. While he was there, he claimed he had a spiritual awakening. Years later, he created a YouTube channel to share his spiritual insights. He said his content was for people who wanted to know themselves at the deepest possible level and live a life of true fulfillment. He spoke directly to the camera and explained his spiritual ideas. But
Bro, that shit stay working on people using that whole spiritual God stuff. People always fall for that shit. And this nigga is running a bag. People be really running a bag up off that shit too. I wonder how much money he made from this shit.
some of his claims stood out. For example, he once said he could control the weather with his mind.
Altering the weather is one fun, usually innocent example of how we can begin to explore some of that capacity. I've had, I'd say, over 95% success with this one in particular.
Not everyone understood his teachings, but still felt compelled to keep
Controlling the weather is crazy. That's going too far. Controlling the weather, my nigga. You gotta be a dumbass, just an ignorant motherfucker to believe that this nigga can control the weather with his mind. Ain't no fucking way.
following him.
I couldn't understand a word he was saying. I just had a feeling to just go deeper, just keep going.
Bentinho's channel reached 150,000 subscribers. As his audience grew, he created more material. Bentinho launched the Trinfinity Academy. It was an online school that taught his philosophy in more detail. Thousands signed up. At its peak, Trinfinity Academy was allegedly bringing in $60,000 per month from member subscriptions alone. Bentinho also hosted retreats where followers could meet him in person. They were often full.
In fact, it's about giving up everything you have for the sake of the vision.
Bentinho was very influential, but his next move is what made people label him a cult leader. In late 2016, Bentinho made an announcement. He wanted to buy a large piece of land and build a city in Sedona, Arizona. It would be an enlightened society where his followers could live together. To begin, he moved into a house in Sedona. Some of his followers joined him, but Bentinho...
Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no... Who the fuck falls for this shit, man? What? So you meet a nigga on YouTube, the nigga tells you, hey, I went here, had a spiritual blessing, and now, nigga, I can make the weather motherfucking change. Nigga, look, go look outside. It's raining, that's because of me. Tomorrow the sun is gonna be out, that's because of me. And you believe that shit. Yeah, you believe it? Just pay me this much a month. And then we gonna all come together and we gonna move to Arizona. Stop what you doing, move from where you live now, and come live with me in Arizona, and we're gonna buy land and start our own city. And you actually do it. All off a nigga you met on YouTube. God damn. What the fuck? That is some mind control.
Required absolute loyalty. Some followers signed NDAs for $100,000 or more. That meant they could not speak out without serious consequences. In Sedona, the group began sharing its message. Everything was going well, but things were about to spiral out of control. A wave of scandals and controversies was coming, and it would get so messy that Bentinho would be investigated by the police. In late 2017, a reporter joined Bentinho's group for a month. She was conducting an undercover investigation. She observed their daily life, documenting everything she saw and heard. Then she published a blog titled Inside the Sedona Cult of Bentinho Massaro. It painted a disturbing picture. She called the group a legitimately dangerous, real-life 21st century cult. She also made other serious claims. She said Bentinho acted inappropriately with female members. She revealed that followers were put on extreme fasts. Some went days with nothing but grape juice. But Bentinho said it had to be done.
He claimed that as their bodies became lighter, their density would decrease, which meant they could enter into enlightened areas.
She also described how their sleep was controlled.
He thought they should break up their sleep into shorter time periods. So not only were they failing to eat well, they were failing to sleep properly.
How? How, man? How? Fucking somebody explain this shit to me, man. How the fuck this nigga just got that much control over you, bro? He's telling you, hey, you can't eat, my nigga. You can only drink grape juice for 3 days. And you out there doing that shit. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir. What? You know what? Bruh, if you want to be a scammer right now, y'all, I'm going to tell you the easy way. As we've seen in all these goddamn reactions, figure out a way to wiggle in the church. Because that's where all the biggest scammers reside, man. In the church house. Or all the biggest scammers who get real money. See, y'all see like them little scammers who use people and like they get caught doing like the SSI shit and stealing from child support. They only get like $1 million. People who do the church shit, they be getting like 60 million, 100 million. They be milking these motherfuckers, man. They be milking their faith. Milking faith is the new hustle. Not saying y'all should do that. I don't know why I said it like that. Y'all shouldn't do that.
Thousands read it, but the bad press didn't stop Bentinho. Soon after, he hosted a retreat called the Sedona Experiment 2. Over 150 people attended. They came to listen and ask questions. Attendees brought up the accusations from the article, including claims that the group was a cult. Surprisingly, Bentinho did not deny it.
During this questioning, he says, quote, like, okay, great, yeah, we're a cult. It doesn't change what we are. If you want to call that a cult, go ahead.
Eventually, he accepted the cult label by redefining it.
I don't really have a definition of cult, but you could break it down as curious and unconditionally loving tribe. CULT.
The attendees accepted his explanation. The retreat was going smoothly. However, it would end in tragedy. One attendee named Brent Wilkins left the retreat early. Brent was one of the most devoted members. After he left, no one saw him alive again. A few days later, Brent was found lifeless at the bottom of a cliff. Police identified him using his tag from the event. It was unclear what happened, so the police opened an investigation. As part of the research, officers reviewed footage from the cult. They found clips of Bentinho making alarming comments about life. Some of these teachings could push people in a dangerous direction. Police wondered if these ideas played a role in what happened to Brent. So investigators questioned Bentinho about the clips, but he denied any responsibility. Bentinho said he was exaggerating for effect and wasn't serious. Brent's parents saw it differently. They blamed Bentinho's extreme teachings for what happened to their son. No charges were filed against Bentinho, but the incident, along with the article, brought negative publicity. Soon after, Bentinho transferred his operations out of Sedona. Reports say he moved out of the United States and returned to Holland. For a while, things were quiet, but the story was not over. In February 2022, another scandal surfaced. 3 high-ranking members left the group. They each posted statements on Instagram sharing how they became followers and finally broke free. And they accused Bentinho of mistreating followers. By speaking out, they broke their NDAs.
Oh shit, they all started podcasts. Ain't that about a bitch? Now that's a podcast. No, I wouldn't listen to that shit, because why the fuck would I listen to your dumb ass?
But they didn't care. They wanted the world to know what happened inside the group. Despite all the bad press, the cult is still operating. Bentinho continues to share teachings via social media, and his Trinfinity Academy website is still live as of today.
This nigga look like Homelander, bruh. That's what he remind me of. This nigga like Homelander. He acting like he a good motherfucker and taking advantage of these people, man. He wants to be God. He wants to be looked at as God. That's crazy.
Offering courses to people looking for meaning. The person in her next chapter believed she was sent to Earth by aliens, and somehow people believed her. Unicult. Unicult is a YouTube channel with nearly 3,000 subscribers, but it's no accident that they have the word cult in their name. The channel is linked to an unsettling group also called Unicult. They claim to be the religion of the future, and once you hear what they believe, it becomes hard to ignore. On their website, the group says they are dedicated to the promotion of joy. In interviews, they describe themselves as a communal framework for promoting joy. They repeat the word joy again and again, but that message of joy came from a dark past. The founder, Nicole, grew up in a small town in Colorado. In college, she struggled with deep emotional issues. It was overwhelming. So Nicole says she changed the way she viewed life.
I don't think got a such thing as a sex cult. No. We got to find a sex cult video. Because I know some of you sick motherfuckers would join a sex cult. Yeah, you would be easily persuaded to join. All it takes is like 40 bad bitches 40 bad Kim Kardashian looking bitches that's saying, come to me. You would drop everything you got going and go over there, huh, would you? A sex cult. That's some sick shit. Y'all just fuck all day, every day. Bad bitches, different bad bitches. Ladies fuck. Oh, nigga, that's crazy. Babies everywhere. No, I watched the one shit on Netflix about the cult leader. It just came out like a couple months ago. And he basically told every woman that was a wife, and basically told the husband and the wife, y'all can no longer engage in affection. He said they can't hug, they can't kiss, they can't do nothing, right? Because all these couples believe this guy was the next coming, the next Messiah. So they was listening to him. And you know what his snake ass did? This nigga ended up taking everybody's wife and made them become his wife. And they actually left their husbands. All the wives, first they went from not hugging or kissing them, and then the next stage was to come be his wife. And they all went to be his wife and took their kids and everything. I said, oh, that's a sick nigga, bro. He got y'all niggas to fucking get divorces and come be his wife.
The way I feel. All the social narratives and conventions, they weren't serving me and they weren't making me happy. And not only that, but they weren't ever going to.
Nicole stopped following societal norms, so she started going by the name Unicult. She also claimed that she was an alien consciousness born into a human body.
Unicult is something called a starseed, placed here on Earth by a group of space beings called Arcturians in order to empower others to find joy.
That's when she founded Unicult in 2012. She shared her ideas on YouTube, and today the Unicult channel has nearly 1,000 videos.
Hello, beloveds. Thank you for joining me for Cam Church. My name is Unicron. It is my honor to have your attention.
The videos explain various spiritual concepts. One of Unicult's core beliefs is belief makes real. This means if you believe something hard enough, it becomes your reality. The message resonated with many viewers, but joining Unicult required more than belief. There was a
meth heads. It required meth. What did it require?
Process. At one point, joining involved filling out a paper application you buy for $11.11 on Etsy. And according to reports from Vice, some members provided a drop of their blood for an initiation contract. Those.
All right, man. See, this is shit. What? So wait, you become a member for $11 on Etsy, and then, bitch, I'm gonna send you a ticket, and you got to send me a swab of your blood back. And you actually fall for this shit. This is crazy.
Who did this joined a private inner circle. They were promised access to secret knowledge. It's unclear how many members Unicult has, but the ones who speak publicly seem satisfied.
I've always felt like I've never really belonged to any.
Oh, hell no. Hell the fuck. You is the last person I expected to see.
Hell no.
Not a motherfucking sister. You are not like us. What the fuck are you doing over there? Who raised you? How the fuck did you get caught up in all this goddamn mayonnaise activity? What is you doing?
Certain group or really related to many people. Being in this space, it's truly a blessing.
When asked which type of people join Unicult, the founder put it this way: the outcasts are generally the people who end up in Unicult because society doesn't look after them, so they're more ready to change the world. No one is rejected. On the surface, Unicult looks welcoming and positive, but not everyone sees it that way. Unicult openly seems to call itself a cult based on their name, and many people feel uncomfortable about this. But Unicron had a specific reason for using that term.
It's a barrier to entry. People who say, oh, I'm not going to join a cult. Cults are bad. And they don't think deeper about it, they aren't ready for Unicult.
In other words, if the name scared you away, you were not meant to join. Unicron proudly calls herself a pop star cult leader, but many people clearly go against some of her claims, including the idea that she was an alien sent to Earth to spread joy. The criticism continued for years. Then in 2018, Unicult did something that made headlines for all the wrong reasons. They tried to launch a creepy project involving robots. Unicult launched a crowdfunding campaign called Eve's Robot Dreams. They wanted to build what they call the first consent-focused robot brothel in the world.
Wait. See, this is what I'm saying. Okay, so this cult right here, definitely, these niggas is acid-driven motherfuckers. You can tell these people get so high and come up with the craziest ideas. So you want to start a brothel full of sex robots.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
I got it, guys. Let's start a brothel with sex robots. That's some high shit. No sober niggas coming up with that. Who the fuck would, like, who would even go? Well, I know who would go to that. But a brothel full of sex robots is crazy.
Customers would spend 30 minutes talking to a robot. Only after that could anything else happen. The idea was that the robot had to give consent before intimacy was taken further. Unicult tried to raise $155,000, but the crowdfunding failed. It raised less than $3,000. That was only about 1% of the target. The project never happened. Still, the story went viral. News outlets picked it up, and their report seemed to mock the group. However, Unicult ignored the backlash. This controversy became old news. And to this day, Unicult is still operating. Some members of this next group lost their lives, and the victims' families blame its leader. Actualize.org. This so-called cult believes an illegal substance is one of the fastest ways to experience God. And outsiders say that message is putting lives at risk. But it wasn't always like this. It started as a self-improvement channel on YouTube, and the man behind it was Leo Gura. In 2012, Leo Gura started a YouTube channel.
See, now, listen, this is a real cult right here. That other shit you showing with 3,000 members, that's not a cult. I mean, 3,000 subscribers. This nigga got 1 million subscribers. That means this nigga done gathered up some motherfuckers to believe what he's talking about. So let's see what actually happened here. 1 million subscribers, a nigga that's saying he's a cult and he got to take drugs to join.
Called Actualize.org. He posted videos about confidence, positivity, and self-acceptance. He said the goal was to help people improve their lives.
I'm not telling you just to accept yourself and then do nothing. I'm telling you to accept yourself. First of all, the act of accepting yourself is a doing.
Many viewers said his videos helped them. The channel quickly hit 1 million subscribers. To connect with his audience, Leo made a website also called Actualize.org. The site had a chat room where Leo could share deeper ideas with his followers. Thousands joined, and the chat room quickly became active. Followers interacted with Leo directly. At this point, Leo was no longer just a creator. He was influencing how people thought and acted. Then his message started to change. Leo slowly introduced more radical ideas about self-improvement. He told his followers that every person is God.
You're no longer in a state of consciousness per se. You are literally God. You're in full God mode.
However, most people were not awake, and that was a problem. In his chat room, he repeated this idea of awakening.
Your awakening is incomplete. Your awakening is incomplete.
He told his followers they needed something to fully awaken, and that something was an illegal substance. In September 2016, Leo released a video where he explained that a specific substance was a shortcut to experiencing God.
Wait a minute. So he was doing all this to sell products to people? That's a cold hustle. If he's selling the drugs directly, that's a cold hustle. Let me round up 1 million motherfuckers. Then let me take over their minds and make them believe that they're gods. And then I'm going to counter it by saying, no, wait, you're not a god because you're not taking this drug yet. And here goes the drug right here. Go to my website and you can buy the drug right now for $20. He probably sold it to their dumbasses for hire, though. Let's see.
The magic pill to enlightenment and God.
He gave a brief warning about the risks, but most of the video explained why people should try it anyway.
It's just a technology. That's what it is. And the question is, does this technology work? And the only way you can know is by trying it yourself.
Leo explained how he found the substance. He said he once had health issues that doctors could not cure. He turned to alternative methods. That search led him to psychedelics, which are obviously substances that alter a person's perception of reality. Leo found what he called a magic pill. He claimed it improved his health, and more importantly, it helped him reach enlightenment.
It's higher and higher and higher and higher until finally something cracks in your brain, and then enlightenment is had.
But he didn't stop at sharing his story. He encouraged viewers to try it too. This is where people started to get concerned. The substance he was recommending was classified Schedule 1 in the US, meaning it's considered illegal and highly dangerous.
Well, you can't buy it, you can't sell it, you can't make it, you can't even have it in your possession.
Some viewers pushed back, but Leo told critics they needed to try it before judging. Remember, Leo had thousands of people in his chat room. Many believed his ideas, and some were willing to take the risk, no matter the consequences. Multiple people reportedly tried the magic pill. For some, it did not end well.
Was he selling? How much? How much was this pill that he was selling to the people?
2018 and 2022, 3 members of Leo's community allegedly lost their lives. A relative of one victim blamed Leo's teachings. They wrote, all the spiritual jargon and ideas only hurt him and his family in the end. He was better off without it. Another story about the magic pill involved Connor Murphy. Connor was a YouTuber with millions of followers. He was also close to Leo, and Connor began using the substance. Connor uploaded videos where he seemed disconnected from reality. Leo saw what was happening and warned Connor on a live stream.
You're losing touch with consensual reality, and you're behaving in erratic ways, and it's going to cause problems.
It's unclear if Connor stopped, but his case alarmed many fans. Meanwhile, Leo's influence continued to grow. His followers stayed active in the chat room. They discussed his teachings and reinforced each other's beliefs. Leo himself posted over 65,000 times on the chat room. He became the central authority. By this point, outsiders started using a new word for Leo and his followers, a cult. They pointed out several warning signs. Some followers treated Leo's ideas as the absolute truth, and they pushed back against anyone who criticized him, and some reportedly put themselves in seriously risky situations based on his advice.
I wonder how much money did he make over the years of persuading these people to believe that they're gods and they're all part of this crew and cult of his. 1 million people, he got 1 million followers, 1 million subscribers. I wonder how much money did he accumulate from these people in total. He probably made some M's off their ass.
YouTubers made videos calling Leo a cult leader. Still, nothing has slowed him down. Today, Leo is still active on YouTube. His forum now has over 34,000 members, and it continues to grow to this day. This next cult was so alarming that viewers tried to rescue.
I thought that shit was old. It's still going today? God damn. Oh, he getting to the chili.
One of its members, the Angelic Initiative. Some cults have hundreds of followers, but the Angelic Initiative was called a YouTube cult of 2. It was a mother and her daughter. But what made this case disturbing was not the size. It was what viewers believed was happening behind the camera. The 2 members were Lynn McGonigal and her daughter, Jamie. Lynn, the mother, was the leader. She used to work as an accountant. Then in 1990, her brother passed away. After that, she said something strange happened.
So 3 weeks after he died, I was taking the junk mail to put it in the recycle bin in the laundry. Looked out the window and he was standing outside the window.
She claimed her brother's ghost visited her at home. For that moment, Lynn believed she could communicate with the deceased. Over time, Lynn claimed more supernatural experiences. She spoke about guardian angels and spirit guides. She said she could help people come into alignment with their soul's life purpose. By 2012, she brought these ideas to YouTube. She created a series called the Angelic Initiative. In every video, Lynn appeared with her daughter, Jamie.
The time for hobbies was so long ago.
That time has come and gone.
They sat side by side in lawn chairs with their arms raised above their heads. They believed they were channeling angels and other spiritual beings.
So what we do is hold the energy portal, stretch it through the clouds.
Over time, the
shut the fuck up, man. Who the fuck? All right, can I ask y'all a question? All this shit we've been watching right here, all these different coats and all that, none of that shit has ever in my fucking life ran across my algorithm in YouTube. Has this shit ever crossed your algorithm? This type of content with like these cult leaders and people doing crazy shit and just trying to preach his messages to y'all? How the fuck did that even get in your algorithm? Like, what are you watching so that this shit joins your algorithm? And then how do you fall for that once you find it? You start watching it, and the next thing you know, you're selling your fucking house and moving to Arizona to live in a goddamn duplex with 40 people? Like, how?
father-daughter channel uploaded over 1,400 videos. Then viewers started noticing problems. Some of Lynn's teachings felt unsettling.
We don't need any more humans. It is not okay for women to have babies and stop contributing to the process.
But the biggest concern was Jamie, the daughter. Viewers felt Lynn had too much influence over her. Instead of living her own life, Jamie was always beside her mother in videos. And she kept agreeing with everything, often repeating the statement, "That's true."
They don't want to ask the right questions, so they ask wrong questions and therefore get crazy answers. That's true.
Other times, she simply repeated what her mom said.
That's Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, I see him. I see him also. Hi.
Man, shut the fuck up.
Oh, hell no, man. What the
Shut the fuck up. Leonardo da Vinci, me too. I see him too. Man, shut the fuck up. This is really, hey, listen, man. Y'all know, man. This is white people activities, man. This is not some shit we do. This is not some shit we be on the internet doing. Like, what? Stretch it out. Stretch out the energy. Just stretch out the energy. And motherfuckers are sitting there watching this shit, just like, okay, like, leaving comments, joining. Hey, how can I be down with y'all coat? Niggas at home bored. You gotta be bored as a motherfucker at the house.
Viewers later found her old social media account. She used to joke around and talk about TV shows. Now, many viewers felt she was a shell of her former self. Eventually, the internet began a campaign to rescue her.
Hold on, real quick. I want everybody watching right now. Let me turn to a cult leader for a second. I want everybody watching right now to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Tell me, right now, put your hands in the air. I want you to stretch the energy out and tell me, close your eyes, keep them closed. Who do you see? Who do you see right now? I see Faison Love. No, I'm just Faison Love, nigga. Big word.
Campaign to save Jamie began in 2019. That year, Lynn and Jamie were interviewed by a popular YouTuber named Pay Money Wubby. The interview made people even more concerned for Jamie. One comment called her brainwashed. Another said Jamie's transformation is actually super depressing. And one wrote, "I do feel bad for Jamie. She was normal. Brainwashing is strong." The hashtag #SaveJamie spread across the comment section. It took 3 years before any update came out. In 2022, the YouTuber who interviewed them posted on Reddit. Jamie from Angelic Initiative is no longer in contact with her mother, but Jamie still held on to some of the beliefs. She said she was still talking about angels and doing these videos on her own now. Jamie even launched Patreon. She needed the Patreon subscription fees to help support her independent life away from the Angelic Initiative. No one knows what caused the split between Jamie and her mom, Lynn. Their two-person YouTube cult is now over, but Jamie's own channel is still up today. The woman in her next chapter built a following by targeting people at their most vulnerable. The Teal tribe.
Jamie said, I'm out
People
here.
went on YouTube searching for help with emotional issues. That's how many of them found Teal Swan's YouTube channel. From the start, she made it clear that she wasn't a...
Wait a minute. Hold on, Teal Swan. How you doing? What's going on, Teal Swan? How you doing over there? What's going on? It's to my eyes for me, Teal Swan.
Regular content creator. She said she had special abilities that helped her understand people's pain.
How do I have all this information? It's because I'm extrasensory. I'm not limited to this dimension or time-space reality.
Her videos had titles like How to Heal the Emotional Body and How to Get Rid of Anxiety. These titles were not chosen by chance. Teal studied what desperate people were searching for online. Then she built her videos around those exact topics.
I specifically try to go for tags and things like that that capture that audience. When you're in a desperate state, it's not sophisticated.
The strategy worked. Her channel grew to over 2 million subscribers. But the channel became more than just videos. Teal built a community beyond YouTube. She called it the Teal Tribe. But unlike on YouTube, advice inside the Teal Tribe was not free. She sold books, courses, and retreats. A single workshop could cost as much as $5,000. But the cost...
Oh, $5,000 per person? Damn. She killing it.
Cost was not the biggest concern. The real issue was what people were being taught. At the center of the tribe's teachings was something called the completion process,
which is Teal's sort of claim to fame for being able to cure any and all childhood traumas, and especially to uncover any repressed childhood traumas.
Hold on, Duno, you're not fooling us. Duno, you're not fooling us, Pops. I see you, my boy.
Have forgotten.
Followers were told to revisit their worst childhood memories, not just to remember them, but to relive them. They were told this would lead to healing. Some of her sessions were deeply unsettling.
You make up these fanciful, horrific tales of all sorts of disgusting, disturbing things, and you do it for hours and hours.
People started calling the Teal tribe a cult, mainly because of their strange practices and devotion to their leader. There were also rumors that some members cut ties with their families. The group became harder to ignore. Then finally, a team of filmmakers stepped in to expose the truth. In 2022, The Deep End was released on Hulu. It was a documentary about what was happening inside the Teal tribe. It showed that some followers lived with Teal on her compound.
So they actually got a Hulu. Okay, let me write that down. I might have to check that out. Hold on. The Deep End on Hulu. Pause. The Deep End on Hulu is crazy. All right, I might have to check that out. Let's see what the Teal tribe all about. What type of sick shit she had going on?
Dedicated members were called the Inner Circle. They reportedly worked for her full-time without pay.
Wow.
As the documentary continued, a pattern became clear. Teal demanded complete loyalty. Inner Circle members were expected to be available 24/7 and put Swan first above even their family. They also had to sign a contract called the non-negotiable list. This meant they agreed to follow all of her rules without question.
The priority of the entire community is whatever's in the best interests of Teal. Everything else is second to that. You can't have personal boundaries.
This control extended into their personal lives. According to the documentary, some followers were discouraged from having children. There's a clip where Teal addresses this directly.
I can't be kept awake at 3 o'clock in the morning before an interview by a screaming baby.
All the girls here are on board. We're not having kids.
The documentary sparked strong reactions. Viewers left comments like, Teal is a perfect example of someone who's been drinking too much of their own Kool-Aid for too long. And Teal is a damaged person trying to help other damaged people in disturbing and unethical ways. Despite the backlash, the Teal tribe is still operating. Teal posts regularly on YouTube, and many people continue to appreciate her content and support her. Our next chapter is about a guru whose followers were so devoted.
Damn, dog. Look at this shit. This shit is just happening on YouTube. People are hurting up tribes. And I feel like the Teal tribe, she did the biggest. She got a Hulu documentary. She got people to pay $5,000 a person to come to this little fucking camp. She got all the women to sign agreements and complete, well, everybody, period, to put her first before their own children, before their life. And sign a contract saying you will follow everything I say, all these rules. That is wow. What are you going through in life to where somebody can get you to do something like that? To sign a contract saying, hey, I'm putting you first over everything. I just met you on YouTube, but I love your message. So I'm gonna put you first. I'm gonna sign this contract. And I'm going to pay you $5,000 to come visit you. Damn, man, how the fuck? I think we all could do this shit, but we just don't have that scammer bone in our bodies to do it. But I think if you just get on this, because look at the people who doing it. It's not like they're fucking geniuses or something. Like, look at the unicorn lady. I don't think she's a genius. I think she just got on here and she believed it 100%. And nigga, people felt the energy who watched it and they believed it. Just get on here, and if you believe what you're saying, you're going to fucking win. Shit. You're going to hurt up. If you can hurt up 1,000 people to pay you $5,000, you up.
That some kissed his feet. Muji Sangha. Many people who watched this man's YouTube videos called him a living Jesus Christ, and that was the beginning of this cult. In 2007, a spiritual teacher named Muji started a YouTube channel. His videos focused on truth and self-awareness.
Tatsang means to associate with truth. With means do or more.
But people didn't just listen. They began to elevate him. Some called him God Living. His channel grew to over 800,000 subscribers. At the time, his teachings became more intense. Muji taught that the self is an illusion.
We are never, ever, ever going to agree. while you are in the state of personhood. This is what is radical.
He told followers to let go of their personal identity. He encouraged them to become nobody.
Don't be anything, don't be anything, don't be nobody. Don't be anybody, don't try to be nobody. You are nobody, you are nothing.
But outsiders felt this message was risky, because once somebody lets go of their identity, they become easier to influence.
So the person trying to be nobody is a dangerous thing. Like meeting nobody people is a dangerous thing. And this is how cult leaders will abuse you.
However, these warnings didn't slow down the movement. Muji became so influential that he created a world of his own. In 2011, Muji opened what he called a Center for Self-Realization. It was located in the mountains of Portugal. 40 to 60 people lived there full time, but thousands visited regularly. It was because of this community that people began asking if the group was a cult. The first
so he actually executed. Everybody else wanted to build some shit and get a lot of people to come. He actually did it. Okay. Damn.
Concern was about how followers seemed to worship Muji. They reportedly bowed to him. Some even kissed his feet. There were also claims that he sold photos of his feet as spiritual items.
As of today, April 5th, he is still selling pictures of his feet on his website.
Then something happened that took things from strange to dangerous. In 2017, 2 of Muji's followers passed away under suspicious circumstances. That moment put the group in the spotlight. Now people had questions. Were members safe? What was really happening inside the retreat? Reporters were determined to get to the bottom of it. In 2019, a journalist published an expose. It was titled Becoming God Inside Muji's Portugal Cult. The reporter interviewed former members, and the allegations were serious.
Multiple reports against him, people coming out saying that he's sleeping with women there, he has multiple different partners.
Of course he is. If I could get all you motherfuckers to believe that I'm Christ, I'm Jesus, I'm God, and y'all come over here kissing my feet and bowing to me, you think I'm not gonna do that? Of course he's over there taking advantage of these women. They over there kissing his feet and bowing to this nigga. They gonna do whatever he say, obviously. Yeah. What the fuck? How do you? That's crazy, bro. To get thousands and thousands of people to believe that you're God. That's a skill. That got to be a skill, you know? That got to be a skill.
Others described the environment as controlling. Some said they experienced PTSD from their time there.
People were feeling trapped, bullied. There's a lot of mind control going on.
Muji denied the accusations. He called them an intentional and malicious attack. His loyal followers stood by him. Some defended him in comment sections. One wrote, "I could never possibly express the gratitude that I have for my master in words. It hurts my heart hearing such untrue gossip about him." Others made videos expressing their support.
But my experience is that Muji has always loved me too much to see me as merely a woman.
Despite these allegations, no criminal charges were filed. Today, Muji's YouTube channel is still up, and his community in Portugal still exists. We all want to belong somewhere. That's not a flaw. It's what makes us human. But my friends, a real community doesn't control you. It pushes you to become better.
That nigga Muji over there knocking shit down. That nigga Muji knocking shit down, man. All right, there it is, man. The cults of YouTube, right here underneath our noses. They exist on YouTube, and you wouldn't even know because they don't cross your algorithm. They definitely don't cross mine. But somehow they are finding people. Not only finding people, they are finding millions of people who will give in and believe and invest into the message that they are speaking. Now, that's crazy, man. Let me know what y'all think about this situation. Have you ever watched somebody and they took you off your pivot to where you was just stuck watching their content and you want to just give up everything you had going in life and move and go live with them? Like, that just sounds crazy, right? And want to go move and live with them and let them be the one that guides your life and follow the rules that they make and put them first before family. Have you ever saw a content creator that made you want to do that? That is crazy, man. If so, let me know who that is. And let me know what y'all think about these situations right here. These people believing in these people on the internet and giving their life up to them, man. How should they be handled? Should there be consequences? Should it be banned from YouTube? Let me know what you think. I'm going to give you 2 seconds to smash a like. And as always, get ready for the next reaction.